What's up, y'all? This be your boy Scotty, and you're watching my review on Keyshia and Daniel Family First, episode 3 and 4. What's up, you guys? The show just went off like a little over 20 minutes ago, basically. And excuse me, y'all, I got a text. But yeah, anyway. But this video is probably going to be less than 10 minutes long because, you know, these episodes are like 30 minutes long, so it's not really much to talk about. So I'm just going to start off with episode 3. And with each note that I wrote for each episode, it's going to be very short, so, you know, it is what it is. Episode 3. Keyshia and Daniel, they talk about the surgery. If you've been watching the show, you would know that, you know, Daniel had hurt himself when he was playing basketball, and, you know, he's very worried about his future in the NBA and if he's going to be able to get back out there on the court due to him being hurt. And, you know, they was basically talking about what doctors and what, you know, surgeons they're going to use, and if they're going to be in Cleveland or, you know, Los Angeles or whatever. And, you know, Keyshia got to finish her album and all that. Okay, Daniel has the surgery, and in the midst of him having the surgery, in the midst of Keyshia dealing with that, Keyshia also found out that Frankie has relapsed, and she's been going around Oakland asking people for drugs and stuff. And, you know, she was saying that her husband, that she's going to take care of her mother, but her husband's her main priority. And, you know, some people were pissing me off on Twitter last week when that came on, making it seem like, you know, Keyshia was turning her back on Frankie, which I don't necessarily believe that. I was I was reading that text message, but yeah, I just didn't think that Keyshia was turning her back on Frankie. I mean, Frankie is a grown woman, and, you know, Daniel is her husband, and you know that at some point, you know, her husband got bigger fish to fry at this point. You know, he got to have surgery. Frankie's out there. You know what? How do you expect her to choose? You know what I'm saying? So I just don't think that it was right for people to beat up on Keyshia for saying what she said. I mean, it's not like she said that she gave up on her mama and she wasn't gonna do shit and she didn't give a fuck. It's just that at that moment, her husband was her main priority. He was having surgery. Like, come on now. Keyshia gets bad news, and after the surgery is over, basically Daniel was not going to be playing until next season. She gives Daniel bad news. Of course, you know, he's devastated by it, but, you know, he got to deal with it. So then, you know, they meet up with Frankie. Well, after she gets the bad news, they talk about Frankie, and, you know, Frankie's been making up a lot of excuses about her situation with the drugs and all of that, and, you know, Keyshia's basically getting tired of it, and she's only saying she'll believe resurgence when she sees it. So they meet up with Frankie, and they talk, and, you know, they stand outside the rehab, and they talk about things and whatnot. And, you know, it seems like Frankie really wants to change, and my whole thing is, I think that it's good that, you know, Keyshia is not giving up on Frankie. And, you know, I think that Frankie does want to change, but at the same time, you know, it's just a hard road to go. I mean, I can't imagine being on drugs for all them years and then, you know, having relapse after relapse and everybody doubting me. And, you know, it's good that she got Keyshia and Daniel in her corner, and they all want her to get help, so they took her to the rehab center, and she agreed to go. Episode 4, which was like 24 minutes ago, well, 26 minutes ago. Daniel is in rehab right now. That's what the episode started off. He was in rehab with his personal trainer, and, you know, his personal trainer was helping him out, trying to get him to walk and all of that stuff. So, you know, they ain't really nothing to talk about. Keyshia and the Dream work together, and I'm not really a big fan of the Dream. You know, he does write hits for a lot of people, but for some people he don't do shit for. But, you know, they was going back and forth about you know, the music and what they want to do and all of that. So, you know, in the midst of the creative process, you know, Daniel was acting crazy, you know, sitting up there with his face frowned up. I really didn't even understand what his deal was. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like Keyshia and the Dream were flirting with each other. So soon after, you know, they had an argument about it, and I really do feel like Keyshia was well within her rights to be upset with Daniel. I know a lot of people think that Keyshia Cole got a stinking attitude, which at times she do have one, but I think that Keyshia had every right to be upset with Daniel. I mean, why the fuck is you tripping? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like she was flirting with the Dream. It doesn't matter if you don't trust the people that's around her. You need to trust her enough not to even be worried about that type of shit. Elite arrives, and you know, she arrives to see Frankie, and you know, Keyshia basically says that Elite still has some issues with Frankie from a few years ago. In the midst of that, Daniel seeks advice from his grandfather about his whole little argument with Keyshia, and all I gotta say is Daniel brought that on himself. He got mad at Keyshia for no reason, and she really didn't understand, and I don't blame her for being upset. I just don't blame her. I mean, she didn't do anything wrong. Elite and Frankie, you know, Keyshia, Elite, in Elite, they went to the rehab center to go meet up with Frankie, and you know, they was having a good conversation, and you know, a lot of stuff from the past came up, and you know, Frankie does not like to talk about it. And this is my thing. I don't know how they expect for Frankie to, you know, to grow and continue to move forward if they keep on bringing up the past. If y'all forgive her, y'all forgive her, but I just don't get why y'all gotta keep on bringing up the past all the time. I mean, bringing up the past don't do nothing but open up a wound all over again. So I don't think that that's right to keep bringing it up. Like, even on The Way It Is, they kept bringing up the past, and it always used to, you know, bother Frankie. So bringing up the past, it's not, you know, a good thing to do. If you forgive somebody, then what's the point of you always throwing it in somebody's face, throwing it in their face, throwing it in their face? How the fuck you gonna be able to move forward if you keep throwing shit in people's face? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the episode, Keyshia and Daniel argued again, and I guess he's trying to make an attempt to squash their beef or whatever, but you know, Keyshia really wasn't hearing it. She really didn't understand it, and it is what it is. But episode 4 was a pretty good episode. It was one of the best ones of this whole season. From what I know, I think we got only 2 more episodes to go from this season, and then it's gonna be over with, because it's like 6 episodes, I think. And you know, that's it. Basically, this is my Keyshia and Daniel review. I think the next video I might do an X Scotty video. I might do that. If I do that, it might be tomorrow morning if I'm up and about. And then after that, there's Real Housewives of Miami episode 9. And then whichever video I feel like doing Friday, I'm gonna do it. But you know, follow me on Twitter, www.twitter.com/MrStillStanding without the G, X Scotty, Mr. Still Standing at yahoo.com with the G. Instagram me at King of the South 23, and I'm out of here, you guys. Peace.